an asteroid would be more stronger than a nuke because they talk. Randall Carlson and Graham Hancock on Joe Rogan, like back in 2015, talk about these cataclysmic events, and they're saying how somewhere in 1908, I believe, there was a meteor that hit Earth, or a comet rather, and this comet, they said, was more powerful than all of our nukes on Earth combined and set off detonated at one time. So comets or asteroids hitting Earth
Yeah,
would
no, you're
have
right. You're right.
a very big impact in order, and would make sand hot enough
Mm-hmm.
to turn to glass, and that's why they're finding this
Mm-hmm.
glass underneath the desert in
Yeah.
the Middle East and all those
But
places.
and then you look into the dates of these supposed cataclysmic events, the flood, right? And these other destruction of civilization and society. You look back to Plato when he talks about 11,600 years ago, he talks about the destruction of Atlantis, right? And that society. It also coincides exactly with what Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson are saying about these cataclysmic events, such as the meteor hitting Earth, which may have caused the Great Flood. Um, they've got a whole lot of great information. Go check them out on Joe Rogan. Go check out their independent research and information. Now posting
Fingerprint of the
online.
Gods by Graham Hancock.
Yeah,
Magician of the
I have to
Gods.
read that. I have to read
Fingerprint,
that.
I have to read it too. Fingerprint of the Gods came out in like 94, 95, but Magician of the Gods came out, I think, in 2015, and has all this new information because they're discovering new information all the time. And it
Yeah.
has all the research, it has the pictures of all the shit. And even Randall Carlson has so much shit. He's doing um a 3-hour live series of a couple episodes talking about Plato and Plato's knowledge of Atlantis and shit.
Yeah,
And he also
I was
just
listening.
came
He said
out and
he has
on Joe
18, he
Rogan.
has 18 hours online or 9 hours online of
Yeah, you were watching the same thing.
information only on Atlantis and Plato, and just going into all that information, which is super interesting. Like he kind of puts all the pieces of the puzzle together. I got to check all that stuff out because there's just so information. I mean, we're still relatively not. I guess we're getting less new. We're still new into understanding all this.
We've been on this to give you guys a perspective. We've been on this stuff for about a year since. So I would say for me personally, probably you too, Corey and Sean. I don't know where Sean went. COVID kind of helped us awaken to our infinite potential.
The first thing we watched was when we watched that what was it called, Fall of Cabal. When we watched that, not that everything that they said was true, and
not take that for a grain of salt, but the premise of it is
it opened your eyes that stuff was happening that we're not aware of, that shouldn't be happening. Yeah. That kind of opened up my eyes, and then I started meditating, and you did too, and we kind of just got on this whirlwind of fucking knowledge, just sitting here. I didn't think I'd be sitting here reading ancient religious texts and cuneiform tablets every day for fun and studying science. And
if you told me this is where I would be at 10 o'clock on a Sunday night talking esoteric wisdom and knowledge of fucking ancient tablets from 30,000 I'll tell you, you're full of shit. But we're making the esoteric exoteric and making
we're making it
understandable for all you guys, and we're helping you guys understand it just as we're learning it and trying to spread it as we're learning it, trying to you guys interact with us to understand it more. If anyone's watching this and wants to connect with us and has knowledge and wants to come on and talk about it, like we're literally open.
We're open to anybody come on, let's chat, let's talk about all things consciousness, all things ancient, sacred, divine, anything we got. Let's create a new earth, man. That's what it's all about, right? Getting about the knowledge of self, talking about consciousness. Let's go back for a minute or two. We're 40 minutes in right now, so let's keep it within 3 parts. Let's wrap it up soon. But let's go back to that consciousness and lucid dreaming and meditation. So the interesting thing for me about lucid dreaming and consciousness meditation, specifically lucid dreaming, is that it's almost a psychedelic experience every single night that you're having, right? And like, we've been led to believe that psychedelic drugs are bad, like you shouldn't take them. They it almost like it opens up your eyes to a new version of reality, similar to dreaming every night. Like you can learn something from your dreams every night. And I think there's a purpose for those dreams to be occurring, because your brain wouldn't just be dreaming for fun, right? Like you don't sleep every night for fun. You sleep for restfulness, even though we don't really know why we need to sleep every night. Like there's no scientific, they, if you Google it, like, why do we need to sleep every night? They really don't have an answer for you.
No, it's
So
an essential part of our
it is,
existence.
though, and it's, we know very little about it. Similar to our imagination and mind, we know very little about it.
Or
And
the subconscious mind. No one knows anything.
nobody knows
Fucking
anything about the subconscious mind. And personally, I mean, this isn't studied or anything, but personally, I've been led to believe that dreaming and sleeping every night is almost connecting us to that higher self or higher realm of thinking that we don't get through normally three dimensional life, right?
yeah,
Like
and there's
we're separated
That's
from
what Carl
spirit.
Jung thought too, that it
Yes,
was like
yes.
we tap into the collective unconsciousness that just exists as all of us.
Mm-hmm,
And by dreaming, like that's what it does. It gives
mm-hmm,
you messages. You should reflect
mm-hmm.
on them, like you were saying earlier. Write them
Yeah,
down, think about them, and try
exactly,
and work with them.
try to find
exactly.
stories, some lessons in them. And another fun fact is Billy Carson also says this. So your subconscious mind is always consciously on, right? 24/7, 365. It's always on, right? You might shut off your conscious mind when you're sleeping, but the subconscious is always rolling, right? And it actually takes in quite literally everything you see throughout the day. Literally everything. If you're driving a car and you see a glimpse of someone's license plate, like that's ingrained in your subconscious, whether you can remember it or not. You most likely you won't remember it, but you
That's
can.
like all the random faces in
Yeah,
your
like,
dreams. They're
I
just
was really
random
just
people
about to
you've
get to
seen
that.
throughout the day.
You can only see
That's
anyone.
why they want us wearing masks, so we can't see
Yeah,
people in our dreams. We can't
exactly.
connect
I
with
was
them.
really, just took the words right out of my mouth. Like you literally can't. Your subconscious can't create shit by itself. Like it
No.
can only project stuff that it's already seen. So like
Mm-hmm.
anything that happens in a dream is literally stuff that you've seen before, and it's just a mishmash of like all that shit put together. But that's
Look at
crazy.
deja vu and how you will
Yeah,
have.
that happens all the time. I
Disney movies
remember
that
I
they
have dreams where they
say.
literally predict events that happen later on, and then they happen, and I remember like, wow, this exact same thing has happened.
Mhm.
And it's crazy how more often it happens once you become aware of it.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Because when you become more aware of it, I think it opens up more of a flow state in your dreaming, sleeping, meditation habits. It kind of opens you up to that spirit realm, and you're kind of getting mixed messages all the time that may relate to actual reality. And I pulled up a fun fact here. Like you brought up Billy Carson talking about how you can perceive everything in the room. So I'm sitting here in this room, even if I'm not looking at everything in the room, I'm perceiving everything and I'll remember everything. I'll remember every face I see when I walk down when I walk to class every day. I remember every face I see, even if I don't, like consciously, subconsciously, I do. The 1 gram of DNA potentially can store all of the information on the entire internet. Think
Mm.
about that. Think about that. Think about how much
Uh,
information the DNA in your body is storing.
Yeah. Well, that goes back to people talking about all your generations of ancestors going back thousands of years is quite literally ingrained in your DNA. So like there's people with that have like different tendencies to do things than others, your genetics, you know what I'm saying? But it's your ancestral knowledge like is literally pervading throughout all of your DNA. That's like people like fucking crazy ass liver king and shit, like he talks about getting at going back to the ancestral roots and like going back to that all natural like primal state of being. Like that's like he's a little out there as far as what he does, but like I believe most of the stuff he does is fairly good and like it is primal and it is like he is very highly
He's
conscious.
leading a healthy lifestyle for sure.
Leading a healthy, extremely healthy lifestyle. Like there's no one else I know that's fucking boosting testosterone, pumping veins out there, freaking mu- muscles on muscles
He,
on muscles, eating raw liver and bone marrow every single day for every
yeah.
meal. Like that's a whole different topic for another day. But like, you know what I'm saying? He's all about the ancestral knowledge and like getting back to that. Cause like we're Graham Hancock says this as well. Like we're just a society with amnesia. Like we have to get like Sean says, like we're just a society that forgot, and like we're living every day to remember again. Like we have to go back to those ancestral roots, those ancient civilizations, and like decode the knowledge that was given to us by them, and like take that knowledge and discover it and relearn it and like project it into the new earth, and create humanity of love and wisdom, and get on with life, in the best way possible. Create heaven on earth, quite literally.
Quite
It's
literally.
like what Jesus said in the Gospel of Thomas, where the disciples asked him what the end is going to be like, and Jesus says, "Have you found the beginning first? Like now that you seek the end?" And he says, "When you find the beginning, you'll find the end, and then you'll understand." It's all about going back. It's like my boy Ang here. You got to go into the avatar state and just connect with all those past powerful people.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point. How everything is in the universe, it goes in a cyclical nature. Look at the galaxies, look at the golden ratio phi. Everything's in a cyclical nature. The snake biting its tail, if you've seen around the yin and yang, like everything happens so that it can happen again. And I don't know, it's infinitely expanding, infinitely experiencing. And the one thing that is not infinite is this time on this podcast, man. One thing that's not infinite. So we're sorry. We got to hang up on y'all. That's been
my
fun.
favorite way to end every time, bro.
It's been fun.
It always like somehow gets to that like that infinite knowledge, and it's like the one thing that's not infinite is time podcast. Like, have a good night, guys. Like, we'll bring it back for episode 8. I believe on episode 8 we're gonna have our friend or new friend.
We're gonna figure. We might have a guest for episode 8.
Might have a guest highly knowledgeable on all things gut health,
holistic health, meditation, and just general fitness and stuff. So
it's always good to get that physical health in as well as
always got to get the physical health.
Mind body balance. We talk about a lot about the mind. We don't necessarily know much about the body aspect of it, and I'd love to learn more.
We're certainly no doctors, no experts.
Yep,
for sure. None of us are experts, but you know what we are doing? We are watching you, YouTube.
Oh yeah,
we're watching you, YouTube.
We're coming after YouTube.
Yeah, I don't even know who the head of YouTube is, but
it doesn't matter. We're coming after him.
I hate you.
No, don't hate him. We love everybody. All right.
Nah, we love everyone.
Good night, everybody.